are here on Real Estate in the Lowcountry. With me is Meg Herman, and she is, of course, with Goosehead Insurance. And as always, we have a lot to talk about today, but Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
so good to be here. Thank you.
Good to see you. So today we're going to talk about reinsurance or reinsurers. I'm not sure I'm even saying
You're exactly
it right.
right. Yeah, no, you're exactly
right.
It's
a term that I think a lot of us have heard, but really don't understand what it is.
Right.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about, well, it's January,
Yes.
and it's a great time to talk about reinsurance. So the insurance companies that we work with here, the insurance companies that are caring for your house insurance, my home insurance, they have something called reinsurance. So basically means that those carriers aren't taking all the risk in our area. They insure some part of the risk.
Okay.
So it's an insurance company for an insurance company.
Got it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So reinsurance rates, these big, massive reinsurers, their rates come out significantly in January. There are some mid-year renewals as well, but
it's the big one.
It's an interesting time to look at what will happen in 2024 by looking at the reinsurance rate renewal.
Okay. So what did it say?
What did it say? Well, in 2023, we were in this very same position, and it was shocking and horrifying.
Yes.
The reinsurance rates that were issued to our carriers was, some of the biggest increases the industry's ever seen. And concurrently, what did we see? The carriers left. They weren't able to, to deal with those kinds of rates in our area. They had to leave the area, or some just decided they were going to cut back. So we ended up with a very consolidated group of insurance companies willing to take the risk here.
Which then precipitated what we've been talking about for a lot.
I know.
The hard market, right?
Shock and horror.
Yes.
So this year, the reinsurance rates, I think we're cautiously optimistic because we're seeing that they're mostly flat.
Okay.
So we're seeing, not those big spikes that we saw last year. And that in some cases where there were losses with the carrier, there may have been some increases. But in general, that leaves us in this sort of more optimistic, maybe cautiously optimistic mode.
Yeah.
So I don't have a crystal ball,
right?
But the overall sort of sentiment in the industry is that we're starting to see things improve.
Okay. So maybe when we open that renewal bill this year, it might be kind of similar to what it was last year, but we're not going to have that moment where we're thinking, what the heck is happening?
Right. It's a great question. One would, unless we start to see big catastrophic losses, it can kind of happen all over the world, not just, we have to think not just hurricanes. These insurance companies are insuring, all over the world, right?
Earthquakes, fires.
Yeah, the fires that happen in Hawaii,
right.
It seems crazy, but in some way can actually impact our rates here.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if we kind of enter 2024 and we're, we see that aren't as many of these big catastrophic losses, we really feel like there should be sort of a flatter or maybe a slight increase in your homeowner's insurance.
Okay, well that is good news.
So open those envelopes and keep us posted. We, of course, are watching the market always.
Right. And even this week, you're talking about it could have been a catastrophic event. We didn't. I mean, we had some wind and some rain, but you just kind of never know at any time of the year.
Yesterday's storm was really interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like there were so many tornado warnings, high wind advisories, kind of unique for this time of year.
Exactly.
But a non-named storm, right? So that would, if you had damage yesterday, it would have been a wind and hail loss.
Okay.
As opposed to a named storm.
Good to know. Anything else we should know for the beginning of the year? If we are getting our renewals and we think, maybe we're ready to look around, what should we do in that case?
I always think you should get in touch with an independent agent, somebody who's here and local and has the markets for our area, and reach out and get some numbers, start working on it 60 days in advance. Carriers can give renewals and they can actually bind the renewals within 30 days of your renewal date.
Okay. It is a very good point, though. You're right. Somebody does need to be here locally because we do have a very different market here, or situations here than you're going to have somewhere where we don't have hurricanes. Or
in many ways, it's a special place.
That's true, but it's a special place to live. So don't let it scare you.
Absolutely,
right?
I love it here too.
Thanks, Meg.
Yeah, good to be here.